Hi everybody, it's Christy, your digital technology librarian. With the weekend coming up, I really just wanted a chance to throw out a handful of film recs for you so that you have the opportunity to explore some of our digital services that we have available to you. Um, if for whatever reason none of these titles are of interest to you, don't let that stop you from exploring. There are thousands and thousands of titles available, so even if something I'm interested in isn't something that you might like, there'll still be options for you to check out. So please do, again, explore as much as you're interested. First, as long as you have a library card from somewhere in the Cleveland area, whether it be from Milan or Norwalk or Sandusky or Ritter, anywhere that has a Cleveland card, you'll have access to Cleveland's Overdrive collection. Now, Overdrive is wonderful. You can access it on computer, you can access it on your mobile phone, you can access it on your iPad. As long as you have a connection to Wi-Fi, you'll be able to stream video. So with Overdrive, one of my favorite parts of their collection are their Great Courses videos. Great courses are wonderful if you're looking to expand your knowledge on particular topics. So anything from, say, medieval history to, say, publishing a book, learning how to draw, learning about photography, how to cook certain kinds of meals, even beginner yoga. All of these different topics you can find a Great Courses video on. The courses run actually several parts, and they are kind of like actually mini classes. So you really do get a pretty nice little introductory foundation on all of these different topics. And these are all available through Overdrive, so strongly recommended for you to check those out. If you do a search with Great Courses in quotes, most of those videos will pop right up for you. If you watched the recent A Star is Born remake with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper, you might be interested in seeing the film that started it all. The recent film was actually a remake of a remake of a remake of a remake, I want to say. The very first version was made in 1937 and starred Janet Gaynor and Frederick March. And it's actually pretty interesting to see how the writers of the adaptations changed the story and kept certain things, but kept certain things the same. So it's really kind of cool to watch what everything was based on. So if you liked the recent adaptation, definitely recommended that you check out that first one. If you're anything like me, you might have, while being stuck in social distancing mode, been hit with a bit of a nostalgia mode. I've been watching a lot of things that I watched when I was a lot younger, and one of the things I was really excited to see available on Overdrive is the Last Unicorn animated film. Technically rated G, but very dark, just so you know that in advance. Really great voice actors that they got, like Jeff Bridges and Mia Farrow. But it's interesting to see what was once one of my favorite movies and how I view it now. But it is still a really, really well done animated film. So recommended for people who might be interested in watching something from the late 80s, early 90s to see how that's weathered time. And then for people with little ones, one of my favorite movies from recent years was the Paddington adaptation. I thought it was wonderful. Great actors, great acting, with a really beautifully done adaptation. The story is really good. So Paddington, the first one, is actually available on Overdrive as well. So definitely recommended there. Okay, moving on to Hoopla. So if you have a Milan-Berlin card, then you have 10 checkouts every single month for any Hoopla titles. Hoopla, of course, offers ebooks, audiobooks, and music, but it also offers both streaming and downloadable video, which is wonderfully convenient if you are going to be away from any Wi-Fi access. The other great thing about Hoopla is that not only can you access it on computer, on mobile device and on different tablets, your iPad and whatnot. But you can also get it right on your TV if you have a Roku or say a Fire Stick. There's an app on both of those devices that you can download so that you can watch Hoopla movies right on the TV screen. So within Hoopla, my recommendations include a movie called Strictly Ballroom. It's rated PG. That one's great for fans of Baz Luhrmann's work. So if you liked Moulin Rouge, if you enjoyed the early Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes, if you liked the movie Australia, if you liked all of those are all Baz Luhrmann films. So if you liked those, odds are you're probably going to like Strictly Ballroom too. It has amazing music. It's this quirky story about this rebellious ballroom dancer who hates being constrained by all of these ballroom rules, and he wants to break the rules, and the partner he ends up getting who is willing to sort of challenge all that the structure that's already there. And it's really, really fun, and the humor is really great, and it stars a lot of really great actors as well, so definitely strongly recommended. If you're more interested in an action film, or if you really like comic book movies, like things coming out of Marvel, I recommend the Guillermo del Toro version of Hellboy, which is on there, not to be mistaken for the recent Hellboy, which was fairly terrible. I think it's a universal given. But the original Hellboy, which is rated PG-13, del Toro, of course, is always amazing. The cinematography is fantastic. The actors they got a ton of really great character actors to be part of it. The story's pretty entertaining, and it's pretty fast-paced, and the character designs are amazing. If you like seeing monsters come to life, really, really cool. Plus, Ron Perlman's the title character, and he's always awesome. If you're looking for something a little bit lighter and a little more day-friendly, there's a fantastic adaptation of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice with a twist. It's called Bride and Prejudice, and it's this light, fun Bollywood-style musical. You have very similar characters, of course, but with a Bollywood twist on it. So if you're looking for something that's fun and peppy with beautifully bright cinematography, Bride and Prejudice might be what you're looking for, and that one's rated PG-13. If you don't mind subtitles, one of my favorite movies of all time, Amélie, is also available. It's in French language. The colors are extraordinary when you watch this. It's like super vibrant shades of green and reds. And the story is just really lovely about this young girl who is affected by this, to avoid spoilers, event that happens, and she's inspired to sort of address certain injustices she sees in her daily life. And it's just sort of one of those warm, fuzzy feeling movies that you get at the end of the film. So if you're looking for something like that, it is rated R, but definitely recommended if you don't mind subtitles. For the kids, Ella Enchanted is available. It's PG. Anne Hathaway is always wonderfully charming. It's a great little fairy tale style story with a wonderfully strong heroine who does not necessarily rely on someone saving her, but that one's really wonderful. That's rated PG. And as part of Hoopla's efforts to keep people entertained while we're all working in this time of social distancing, they've created a category called bonus borrows. Borrows include some movies and everything like that. One of the best parts of it is that it includes a ton of children's read-alongs, and one of the best ones that I found on there was Dragons Love Tacos, if you're familiar with the story. And kids can either just watch the video. If you happen to have the book, they can read along with the video, but it's a great story and it's a lot of fun, so definitely recommended for little ones as well. So our final segment is all about Kanopy, which is the service that's available to Milan-Berlin Library District card holders. You can access it via computer, you can access it via mobile device. You can access it via your tablet, like your iPad. You can also, just like with Hoopla, access it on your TV by downloading the channel onto your Roku or your Amazon Fire Stick. These are really fantastic films, so strongly recommend that you check them out. My first rec is for the film The Prize Winner of Defiance, Ohio, starring Julianne Moore. It's rated PG-13. It's actually based on a real woman. In the 50s and 60s, she took care of her 10 kids by relying on her wit and skill with words. She would enter all of these contests that would give her a chance to create jingles and taglines for these big name brands. And when she would win, she'd be able to say, put that money towards putting one of the kids through college, getting gear and equipment that they might need for their jobs, and sometimes just day-to-day life, like groceries for the week. She was amazing, and the film really does such a good job of taking care of the realities of things that she was dealing with. So that one's strongly recommended. If you were following any of the awards from this last year, you might have noticed the movie The Farewell come up pretty often. It stars Awkwafina, and it's actually like a family dramedy. There's dramatic parts and there are comedic parts. And it's a really beautiful story about how a young woman who is of Chinese descent but raised in the U.S. Deals with the news that a beloved grandmother is ill with cancer, and some of the cultural differences with how you handle that situation. It's absolutely not a downer film. It's also based on a true story, and it's surprisingly uplifting in a lot of places. So one of those films that I definitely recommend everyone check out if you're looking for something that at the end of the day makes you smile a little bit. It's not like haha laugh out loud funny all throughout, but it is a really beautifully done film. And finally, I recommend checking out the entirety of the kids collection. Usually with Kanopy you only get 5 checkouts per month, but Kanopy has decided to make the entirety of the kids collection available with no limitations. So kids can watch things over and over and over again within the kids collection, and it doesn't count against your 5 items. That includes episodes of Sesame Street and things like Daniel Tiger. It also includes really well done read-alongs like Creepy Carrots, Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, as well as a number of educational language videos that sort of go over major themes within daily life. Like there are videos about French language and talking about food, which is generally a pretty easily accessible point for people. And these are all kid films, and they're really, really beautifully done as well. So strongly recommended that you cycle through those and see if there's something that's interesting for your kids in there. If you have any questions about how to access any of these different categories of films, whether it be from Overdrive, Hoopla, or Kanopy, please leave us a message. I'll try and put links to the different titles, specific titles that I put in the description box, so you have easy access to them. But yes, please, any questions, be sure to leave them for us in comments or in direct messages, and hopefully we will see you all soon. We miss you. Thanks for listening.